Imagine being so hungry, you'd eat anything. But what if the thing you just ate wasn't food at all? Welcome to the most disturbing family dinner you'll ever witness. The film begins in a quiet village in Austria with a teenage girl named Simi. Simi appears calm and composed, but she suffers from bullying and a lack of confidence because of her weight and body shape. Because of this, she decides to go to her Aunt Claudia's house for a few days, following her mother's advice that her aunt is the only one who can truly help her. But help? In what way exactly? And why does her mother insist so much? We'll soon find out. Simi seems very excited, completely unaware of what's waiting for her in the house where she believes she'll finally find the treatment she needs. When Claudia sees her, she welcomes her warmly, and we immediately learn that Claudia is a nutritionist. She even has a book about health and nutrition, explaining how and when to eat and the habits that cause depression. That's why Simi's mother insisted she go to her aunt's place. Anyway, Claudia takes Simi to show her the room she'll be staying in, and it quickly becomes clear how much Claudia loves solitude and hates having guests in her house. We understand this when she apologizes to Simi, saying she'll have to stay with her son Philip in the same room because there are no extra rooms and it's only for 2 days, so no need to be upset. But Simi corrects her and tells her she's actually planning to stay for a week, or more specifically, until Easter, because she intended to celebrate it there. And just like that, Claudia's face stiffens. She is visibly nervous and clearly hiding something. She tells Simi that Easter is very special to her family, and Simi's presence will feel strange because they have their own private traditions. Simi feels embarrassed and calls her mother afterward, telling her she'll only stay for 2 days and then return. Her mother is surprised because the plan was for a full week or even longer, and she immediately suspects that Claudia refused to help her. However, Simi still hasn't told Claudia the real reason for her visit, and it's obvious that this secrecy is eating her up from inside. At dinner time, Simi sits with Claudia's husband, Stephen, and their son, Philip. They look like a quiet family of very few words, especially Philip, whose strange behavior and unsettling expressions make you wonder, is he just shy, or is there something seriously off about him? When Claudia brings out the food she prepared in her strict, healthy style, she lets Simi take the portion she needs. Embarrassed, Simi takes only a tiny piece of meat, afraid of seeming like she eats too much. She notices, however, that Claudia is completely focused on a film and even cuts Philip's meat for him as if he were a little child, even though he's the same age as Simi and clearly capable of feeding himself. Then Simi learns that Claudia and Stephen won't be eating with them because they're observing Lent. Later, Simi is in the bathroom, staring at herself in the mirror, upset about her body and wishing she could lose weight and have the same attractive figure other girls her age flaunt so effortlessly. Suddenly, Philip barges into the bathroom without knocking or asking permission. Not only that, he treats Simi rudely and speaks to her in a horribly unpleasant way, making it clear he can't stand her or her presence in the house. And then Claudia walks in, not to scold Philip, but to make sure he's well covered. So controlling and domineering, she takes Philip's phone and starts searching through it as if she owns every aspect of his life. What kind of mother does that? And more importantly, what is she trying to hide? The next morning, Simi wakes up early and goes for a walk, then a light run, hoping to help herself lose weight. While walking, she notices strange tree branches arranged in a triangular, cave-like shape in the middle of the forest. Curious, she sees a bag hidden inside it. She opens it and finds chocolate and clothes. Feeling uneasy, she leaves everything as it is and returns home because she suspects this might be Philip's bag, but she has no idea why he would hide it there. Or better question, why hide it at all? What was he planning? As soon as she enters the house, she sees Stephen doing his workout routine because he cares deeply about his health and physique. Simi keeps staring at his athletic body, hoping she could be fit like him one day. Then Stephen suddenly decides to break his fast and not continue it. He tells Simi that she's fasting too, and they agree not to tell anyone he ate while fasting. He even offers to break his fast with her, but she refuses because she wants to shower first. Simi then asks him why there's a strange tree branch structure in the forest, and Stephen casually tells her that they're being prepared for Passover. After Simi finishes her shower, she's surprised to find Claudia in her room, opening her suitcase and packing her things. This This annoys Simi, but she tries her best not to show it. She tells Claudia, "By the way, I know how to pack my things. You didn't need to go through all this trouble." But Claudia simply replies, "I made room in the closet for you, by the way." At that moment, Simi sees the book inside her bag. Her things have been moved, and Claudia clearly realizes, without Simi having to say a word, that Simi wants to lose weight. This is obviously the real reason she came. Claudia tells her that her body needs work, discipline, and time, and right now she won't be free enough to fully focus on her. This makes Simi nervous, and she stays silent, unable to respond. That night, Simi senses tension in the house. Claudia and Steven seem anxious because Philip is nowhere to be found. It looks like he went out, or rather, escaped. Claudia becomes extremely worried, wondering where he could have gone. It's impossible for him to head to the city. He knows he's forbidden to go there alone. Claudia says she must inform the police so they can help search for him, but in the end, she changes her mind. She decides to search for him herself and goes out with Simi and Steven after Simi suggests he might be in the woods because she saw his bag there earlier. When they go out looking for him, they find Philip sitting quietly near a tree trunk. Claudia is overjoyed to find him safe. Later at home, Claudia sits with Simi, and it becomes clear that she's trying to hide her true feelings about her son, feelings no one else knows. She tells Simi, "I know why Philip went out suddenly without saying anything. He was bored and wanted to play a little, but when it got dark, he was afraid to come back alone, so he told himself, 'Let me stay here until morning.'" Bored? Really? Is that all? Or is Claudia trying way too hard to hide something far more unsettling? Claudia quickly changes the subject and tells Simi she has finally decided to help her lose weight. Simi is overjoyed and thanks her repeatedly, unable to believe she will finally lose weight and become slim. That night, Simi sits at the dinner table. When Philip joins them, he sits down looking strange, as if he's still in shock. Claudia prepares the food and places the plate in front of Philip, but then removes the plate in front of Simi. Confused, Simi asks if she's going to eat anything else, something healthy at least. Claudia calmly replies that Simi won't be eating at all today, and that she will continue for 4 days without food because her body is full of toxins and needs cleansing. She reassures her, saying that once her body detoxifies, she'll start a low-calorie diet and slowly begin eating again. At this point, Simi finds nothing to eat or drink except water. Later, while cleaning the kitchen, Simi sees the dinner containers and stares at them greedily. Her stomach growls, her hunger almost unbearable, but she forces herself to stick to the agreement she made with Claudia and throws the food in the trash. A little while later, Claudia weighs Simi and asks her to show her stomach to check how big it is. When she notices Simi's embarrassment, Claudia tells her, "You're now one of my students, and you have to be committed and listen to me exactly, because if I sense otherwise, I'll have to give advice, and I won't be able to help you." But Simi reassures her, saying she's determined to do anything to lose weight. Then she returns to her room, only to be horrified by a dead mouse on her pillow, its head cut off. She screams for Claudia to remove it and asks if she can sleep somewhere else. Claudia explains that mice and similar things are common in old village houses and agrees to let Simi sleep in the living room tonight. But as Simi thinks about it, she becomes almost certain that Philip is responsible. He has hated her since day one and treated her rudely, and he definitely has a hidden tool, probably the same one used to cut off the mouse's head. Later, when Simi goes to the living room to sleep, she sees Steven acting strangely, his eyes even stranger. He approaches her and tells her she's beautiful and doesn't need to diet at all. Feeling extremely uncomfortable, Simi quietly leaves, trying to avoid him. The next day, Simi sits quietly, watching Philip eat while deliberately feeding her food in front of her, as she just sits there drinking water, silent and not complaining. While Simi is already upset, Claudia suddenly discovers a broken chocolate wrapper on Simi's bag and immediately assumes Simi secretly ate it behind her back, refusing to follow instructions. Simi is shocked because she wasn't the one who ate the chocolate. She remembers seeing that same chocolate in the forest bag, which means it's very likely Philip planted it to get her into trouble. But before she can explain anything, Claudia interrupts her thoughts and sternly warns her that this is a serious mistake and she will leave Simi alone next time and won't won't help her. Later, Simi sees Claudia putting ice on Philip's eye, which looks swollen and bruised, as if he's been badly beaten. When dinner time arrives, Simi asks Philip what caused the bruises on his face, but before Philip can reply, Stephen jumps in and says he simply fell like a fool. But it quickly becomes clear that Claudia and Stephen are the reason behind Philip's injuries. They clearly don't want him talking, and their behavior is becoming increasingly strange. During dinner, Claudia serves Philip the food he likes, while Simi just sits there, feeling her hunger painfully. Stephen then suggests that Claudia let Simi eat today because her diet is too strict, too harsh, and too difficult. But before Claudia can respond, Simi reacts quickly and nervously insists she's not hungry at all and doesn't want to eat. Later, Claudia weighs Simi as she does every day. Simi then tells her she feels Philip didn't fall at all and suspects that Stephen is the one who harmed him because Philip is treated cruelly and it's obvious Stephen doesn't love him. Claudia immediately denies this, saying Stephen may be strict, but he loves Philip and would never hurt him. To change the subject, Claudia decides to give Simi a necklace with a small stone marked with a strange symbol, telling her that whenever she feels hungry, she should touch the stone and her hunger will disappear. That night, she prepares Simi for bed, but when Claudia sees her trying to sleep on the living room sofa again, she firmly tells her she must forget about her fear and go back to her room. At that moment, Simi notices Claudia writing a new book, but strangely, Claudia quickly closes her notebook, as if she doesn't want Simi to see what she's writing. She tells Simi that her old books were successful, but people nowadays don't like complicated topics anymore. Simi is confused. What's so complicated about a book about food? Curious, she asks what the new book is about. Claudia replies, I decided to talk about food in ancient cultures and how we can benefit from them. A little while later, Simi tries to sleep, but her hunger and the loud rumbling of her stomach keep her awake. She touches the stone on the necklace, hoping it will help her, and strangely, just like Claudia told her, the hunger suddenly disappears. Feeling relief, Simi sneaks down to the kitchen once everyone is asleep to look for food. She opens the refrigerator, only to find it completely empty. Suddenly, she notices Stephen awake. He approaches her in a strange way that makes her heart race with fear. When he puts his hands on her face and body, she becomes terrified and instinctively stabs him with the knife she's holding. She trembles uncontrollably from fear and shock at what she has done. The next morning, Simi wakes up and realizes everything that happened with Stephen was just a dream. She goes to the kitchen, opens the refrigerator, and finds it full of food, totally different from what she saw in the dream. At that moment, she hears Claudia preparing breakfast and sees Philip sitting silently at the table, looking sad, like every single day. Stephen eventually wakes up, and Simi becomes nervous the moment she sees him. She learns he's going hunting in the forest, and Claudia insists Philip go with him so he can learn to hunt and bond with Stephen. But Philip clearly doesn't want to go anywhere with him and doesn't even want to be near him. This only confirms Simi's suspicions that Philip is indeed being mistreated. So she quickly asks Claudia if she can go hunting with Philip, and Claudia agrees. Deep in the forest, Philip watches the rabbits and prepares to hunt one. He listens to Stephen's instructions, aims his rifle, and fires a shot at a rabbit. The rabbit is wounded but still alive, struggling in pain. Stephen orders Philip to finish the hunt and hands him a knife to end the rabbit's suffering. But Philip freezes in fear, his hands trembling violently, unable to kill the rabbit. Stephen becomes furious and yells at him. Simi immediately grabs the knife and kills the rabbit herself to end its pain. Even then, she remains scared of Stephen's anger toward Philip. Philip is terrified to finish off the rabbit, even though he wasn't afraid at all when he chopped off its head earlier. Before heading home, Stephen angrily orders Philip to go back alone and takes Simi with him to the farm to help him skin the rabbit. He tells her he never expected her to be so brave. When Simi carries the barrel filled with the rabbit's entrails to throw them away, a nearby goat suddenly gets spooked and jumps toward her, making her tense up for a moment, almost as if the goat is trying to possess her. For a second, she even considers eating some of the entrails. Seriously, Simi, was the hunger that real, or is something weird going on here? Thankfully, Eventually, she snaps out of it and puts everything back in place. Back at home, Simi goes to check on Philip because he's lying on the bed upset, sad, and quietly crying. As soon as she hears a sound, she sits beside him to talk and tries to comfort him, but Philip mocks her, calling her a cow. Hurt, she decides to leave him alone, but then changes her mind and stays, trying again to talk to him. She tells him, "I know it's natural for you to hate Stephen because he's your stepfather, and honestly, he is a strange and unpleasant person." Suddenly, Philip gets angry and replies, "Stephen is awful. Yes, he treats me badly, but I don't hate him, and I didn't try to run away because of him. The real reason I ran away is my mother. She's mentally ill, and whenever I find a friend at school, she transfers me. She keeps me locked away and controls everything I do. I feel like she wants to hurt me." Simi is shocked by his words and thinks he must be imagining things. She becomes annoyed that he's speaking about his mother like that. Philip continues, telling her that she must be noticing strange things at home too, but is staying quiet because she wants to lose weight, compete with slim girls, and focus only on herself. His words make Simi angry, and she walks away. Later, while Claudia is checking Simi's weight, Simi decides to tell her about Philip. She explains that Philip is scared of her and says she intends to hurt him. This breaks Claudia completely, and she begins to cry. She tells Simi that her son is mentally ill, suffers from mixed personality disorder and paranoia, constantly runs away, and imagines things that never happened. None of the doctors could help him, and even the police stopped responding because they were tired of repeated reports of his disappearance. Claudia explains that he is the reason she's always sad, and that he never cared about her or the family. Her words hit Simi deeply, and for the first time, she truly feels sorry for Claudia. That night, Claudia enters the room where Simi and Philip sleep. She checks on Philip as usual to make sure he's covered properly, then quietly goes through his phone. As soon as she walks out, Philip whispers to Simi that his mother hates him and that their relatives want to harm him, but Simi denies everything and tells him not to think that way again. Philip suddenly gets furious and snaps, "You're stupid, you don't understand anything." It's clear from his tone that he knows something but can't express it properly. He then pulls out a sharp object he had hidden and threatens Simi, asking what she's hiding and what she knows. Terrified, Simi swears she knows nothing. The next day, Simi sees Claudia through the window burying something in the yard. She freezes, completely stunned. She waits until Claudia leaves, then rushes out to investigate. She is horrified when she discovers a bloody bundle shaped like a human body, along with a picture of Philip on top of it. It's clearly some kind of dark magic or satanic ritual. Shocked and trembling, Simi immediately calls her mother and tells her everything she saw. Her mother calmly explains that Claudia has always been strange and deeply interested in spiritual things and magic, but she has never harmed anyone, especially not a Muslim. Just then, Claudia enters Simi's room and asks who she was talking to at this hour. Simi panics, quickly ends the call, and tells Claudia she was speaking to her mother. A little while later, Simi can't find her phone. It seems to have disappeared. She asks Claudia if she has seen it, but at that exact moment, Claudia cuts her hand while washing the dishes. Taking advantage of her distraction, Simi quickly starts searching the entire house for the phone because she suspects Claudia might be hiding it from her. At that time, Simi finds the notebook where Claudia writes ideas for her new book, and she is absolutely shocked by what she sees. The notebook is filled with strange drawings and symbols clearly related to satanic rituals. There are also pictures of animal corpses and human corpses. At this moment, Simi becomes certain that Philip was telling the truth and that something truly horrifying is happening in this house. Fear creeps into her bones as she realizes she is no longer safe here. At night, Simi talks to Philip and asks him if he plans to run away again. She tells him she wants to run away with him and escape this place, but Philip doesn't believe her. He suspects that she and his mother have an agreement to find out what he's planning. Later, at dinner, Simi decides to tell Claudia that she no longer wants to diet and doesn't want to lose weight anymore because she can't tolerate the hunger. But Claudia refuses to listen and forces her to eat. This makes Philip hand Simi his own plate to help her, and Claudia and Stephen get get furious. They attack Philip so harshly that his mouth gets injured. Simi is shocked and feels responsible, so she tells Philip to take back his plate and finish his food quietly, not saying another word. In the bathroom, Simi becomes so hungry that she even tries to eat toothpaste. That's when Claudia walks in and tries to win Simi's sympathy so she doesn't see her as a villain. Through tears, she explains that she had to get angry at Philip because his illness makes him do many wrong things, and sometimes she just loses control. Claudia then goes to Philip's room to apologize and make peace. She breaks down crying, hoping he will forgive her. As soon as Claudia leaves, Simi speaks to Philip and secretly shows him the house key that Claudia had hidden away. Philip is thrilled that Simi is helping him and tells her they must leave the house at 6 in the morning to catch a train. The next morning, Simi wakes up and is shocked to see it is already 8 o'clock and Philip is gone. She rushes out to look for him, hoping he hasn't betrayed her, but soon discovers that he has indeed run away without her. Stephen and Claudia already know, and Claudia tells Simi that Philip ran away and traveled to Abu Fina. Later, Simi talks to Stephen and asks him to take her to her mother's house because she misses her and wants to leave. Stephen agrees immediately and tells her to pack her things, but his calmness feels unsettling, like he's hiding something. While packing, Simi decides to text Philip to ask why he left without her, especially since she helped him escape. But the reply she gets calls her a cow. The message infuriates her, and she feels betrayed. Claudia then tells Simi that if she wants to eat and stop dieting, she won't be upset anymore. Simi then goes to Stephen and says she doesn't want to leave after all. She decides she will spend Easter with them as planned. Stephen tells her, "You know Claudia has special Easter traditions. If you're staying, you must participate." On Easter Day, Simi prepares for the celebration. Claudia has arranged everything beautifully in the garden. The table is filled with food, with candles arranged in a circle around it. Claudia takes Stephen and Simi's hands and begins to pray. Then they sit together to eat, and Claudia tells Simi that she's allowed to eat now. As soon as Simi tastes the meat, she realizes it has a different flavor, something new, something she has never tasted before. It's tender, rich, and strangely delicious. She can't stop eating it. That night, Simi feels an unusual sense of unease. She can't sleep. She discovers Philip's sharp instrument still lying there, untouched. She becomes anxious because Philip would never forget it. It was always with him. With growing fear, Simi leaves her room and goes out to explore the farm. When she arrives, she freezes in horror. Her suspicions are confirmed. Philip has been murdered. His body is dismembered, parts cut out and removed. She instantly realizes why the meat earlier tasted so strange. It was Philip's flesh. Yes, flesh. Claudia had killed her own son with Stephen's help. They cut him up, cooked him, and ate him. Everything makes sense now. The message she received wasn't from Philip. It was from Claudia or Stephen. At that moment, Stephen arrives. He sees Simi, approaches her slowly, and tries to calm her down with a gentle voice so she won't run. But Simi grabs Philip's sharp instrument and stabs him repeatedly, then runs toward the forest. Claudia sees her and tries to chase her. Stephen prepares his rifle so they can hunt her down. In the forest, Simi tries to hide, but collapses from weakness because she hasn't eaten properly for days. Her fear takes over completely. Suddenly, Stephen shoots her in the arm. She forces herself up and crawls into a hollow tree trunk structure to hide. Claudia reaches the spot and tells Simi to come out, promising that Philip is now living with them forever. Her words reveal that she has lost her sanity entirely. She tries to smoke Simi out with gas, threatening to set her on fire. But Simi suddenly darts out from the other side, grabs the jerry can of gas and throws it at Claudia. Then she lights the candle she was holding and tosses it, setting Claudia ablaze. She watches her burn, trembling but silent. At dawn, Simi finds Stephen sitting on the ground with the rifle. He is dying from the stab wounds. He hands Simi the rifle, begging her to kill him, but she refuses and lets him suffer until he dies. Thanks for watching this recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment below and tell me what movie or series you want me to recap next.